nerve gas was used in a terrorist attack on the Tokyo subway. It did not give the year, but this has happened over in Tokyo. Number 7 is amatoxin. And this kind of poison is present in some dangerous mushrooms. This poison attacks directly the kidney and the liver of the human body. Number 6 is strychnine. So this poison is an odorless white powder, sort of like anthrax, which is extracted from some trees in Southeast Asia and India. This poison can be given orally or it can be inhaled. It is the bitterest of the substance to human beings, and only a small amount of this poison can cause death. And number 5 is mercury, and mercury is found in fish, but it has very low levels. But a single drop on a human hand can cause attacks on the nervous system and the lungs. And so continue, we are on number 4 is tetrodotoxin, and this is found in puffer fish. And this poison can be found on the skin, intestine, and liver of the fish, and it causes mental implantation and paralysis. Number 3 is ricin. It's extracted from the castor bean. Ricin can actually stop the protein production in a human body, which is essential for the human survival, and the person goes into shock if they come in contact with ricin. And many countries started using this as a weapon. So number 2 is VX, and this is the most dangerous nerve gas. And it was initially marketed as a pesticide, but was soon banned because it was very dangerous to humans. And a single drop on a human skin can be fatal. And many countries started using this like a weapon in world wars. And number 1 is botulinum. When humans come into contact with this poison, within seconds, the nervous system will shut completely down. So these are the top 10 deadliest poisons known to humanity. Now, ToxNet, and this is the Toxicology Data Network. And ToxNet is a, excuse me, get focused. Okay, ToxNet is a group of databases or a data network, and it covers chemical and drugs, disease, and the environment, environmental health, occupational safety, and health poisoning, risk assessment, and regulations and toxicology. And it is managed by the Toxicology and Environmental Health Information Program. So I want you all to see this slide. And it's the Division of Specialized Information Services, which is SIS. It's of the National Library of Medicine. We have talked about this a lot in class, the National Library of Medicine. So this database is very good. And this is a trusted source. So one thing when you're doing your research, you want to always make sure it's a trusted source. And ToxNet provides links to PubMed, and it's a NLM's free web interface to the world's biomedical literature and to additional sources of technological information. So we're going to continue on. I just want you all to see the slide. I'm trying to get a view of the information. Okay, now that's the ToxNet and this Toxicology Data Network. Next we have chemical nomenclature and structure, and this is Chem ID Plus, and it contains over 400,000 chemical records. Now, more than 300,000 of those records include chemical structures, and it's searchable by name, synonym, CAS registry number, molecular number, classification code, locator code, structure and or physical properties. And this is Chem ID Plus. And now you want to come to your toxicological data. We're still on this. And so our first one is CCRIS, and it's chemical carcinogenesis. Focus on the slide so you all can see it. So it's chemical, and I'm sorry for the glare. So from the computer screen. Okay, so this is the chemical carcinogenesis research information system, or the CCRIS. And basically, this gives you the test results for over 8,000 chemicals. It's carcinogenicity and mutagenicity tests. So that's the results for over 8,000 chemicals. Next, you have your CPDB, which is the carcinogenic potency database. And it gives the results of 6,540 chronic long-term animal cancer tests. Next, you have your CTD. And the CTD is a comparative toxicogenomics database, which has access to scientific data describing relationships between chemicals, genes, and human diseases. Okay, and next we have GenTox. And GenTox is Genetic Toxicology Data Bank, and it's a peer-reviewed genetic toxicology test data for over 3,000 chemicals. Next, you have your HSDB, or Hazardous Substances Data Bank. And this is a peer-reviewed toxicology data for over 5,000 hazardous chemicals. Next, we have HAZMAT. And this is linked to jobs and hazardous tasks with occupational diseases and their symptoms. So that's hazmat. And next we have household products database. So for things like your average household products, Lysol, or like your floor cleaner Pledge, or like your laundry detergent, you can go to the household products database, and it's going to tell you the potential health effects of chemicals in more than 10,000 common household products. And next we have IRIS, which is the Integrated Risk Information System. And this is its hazard identification and dose response assessment for over 500 chemicals. So this is IRIS. And we have the toxicology data continue. And we got ITER, ITER, which is the International Toxicity Estimates for Risk. And this is risk information for over 600 chemicals from authoritative groups worldwide. Next we have LACMED. And this is the drugs and lactation database. This is for drugs and other chemicals to which breastfeeding mothers may be exposed. So this is LACMED. And TRI, Toxic Release Inventory. It's an annual environmental releases of over 600 toxic chemicals by U.S. facilities. And then last we have ToxMap. And ToxMap is a geographic information system, which is GIS, using maps of the United States to show the amount and location of toxic chemicals released into the environment. So this is your toxicology data. So if you were doing a research report on toxicology, these will be helpful. These databases will be very helpful. And they are peer reviewed, so they are good. Next you have your toxicology literature. And the first one is ToxLine. So we want to get it where you can see the slide. Okay, so if you can see, I know it's a little foggy, but ToxLine provides bibliographic information, and this is from the 1840s to present, covering the biochemical, pharmacological, physiological, and toxicological effects of drugs and other chemicals. And DART, which is Developmental and Reproductive Toxicology database, which contains references to reproductive and developmental toxicology literature. And this is just an example of a toxicology monograph, and we have talked about this in classes, the chemical makeup, the effects of the person. And this is a toxicity of engineered nanomaterials, and this was done on May 8th, 2009. This is monograph